Hey guys, my name is Daniel Mutheki, and I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me today. Most importantly, I'd like us to thank God for enabling each and every one of us to be here today. I've always sensitized you, and I'll never stop, that it's primarily important that you always go back to God and say thank you for seeing a new day. A new day is a gift. A new day is a blessing. So always be grateful to God, because there are those who have not got that blessing, that which you have. As usual, guys, I always leave my social media details right on the screen there. And so if you'd like to reach out to me, could be a topic you'd like to suggest, could be anything you're going through, you need someone to talk to, could be anything. Feel free, chat me up on my social media pages. And remember, drop me an email and I'll do my very best to try and get back to each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for, my friend? Press the subscription button and do not forget the notification bell so that you're always alerted when we post a new video, which by God's grace is normally each and every Sunday. Guys, I know it's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks since I posted the last video. Unfortunately, I was feeling quite unwell. I was under the weather, but I thank God I'm much better. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and I thank God for enabling me to be back here and sharing videos with you. And I hope we'll continue to do so without any interruption. Well, new week, new video. And in today's video, I'd like us to talk about evaluating our friendships. Friendships are things that we take quite seriously in our lives. They are time consumers because we invest so much time in our friendships. We invest so much energy. We invest so much of ourselves into the space that we call friendships. And the average person watching me today has a couple of friends in life. People who you probably grow up with, people who you go to work with, people who you have certain relationships with. And so we all have friends in some way, shape, or form. There's a video I did way back, and it was about the different types of friends. So just check it out. I'll tag it there on top of the page. Just check it out and make sure you're able to see that video so that you can understand the different types of friends that we make. But today we are here to evaluate those friends that we already have. Sometimes you need to ask yourself questions about the people you have chosen as friends. Does it feel as though it is a one-sided relationship? You put in all the effort. You put in all the work. Some people say it feels as though you're a fire engine that is only required when there's a fire. You come in, you put off the fire. Once the fire is off, you're dumped back into the yard. Does it feel as though to them, you're not a priority, but to you, you have made them a priority? And so it's important that you realize, show me your friends, I show you who you are. A mirror reflects a man's face, but who he really becomes is shown by the kinds of friends he chooses. And so it's time we learn a few things about evaluating our friends. And you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. Question number 1. Does the other person invest as much time as you invest in the relationship? Sometimes you find that you're the one who's always calling. You're the one who's always setting up dates. You're the one who's always setting up, meetups. You're the one who's always initiating conversation. You're the one who's always at the wheel and directing this friendship. It's important for each and everyone involved in a friendship to feel as though there's equal investment. There's equal time that is being spent, equal concern. Because when it becomes one-sided, then maybe you have some questions to ask. And so you have to look in those relationships that you have, those friendships, and ask yourself, is it one-sided? Is the energy being disposed by one person equal? Or is one person overworking for the sake of this friendship? The second question you need to ask yourself is, how easy is it to connect with this person? I always say that there are friends you make in life who you probably have not spoken for a couple of months. But when you meet up, it's as though you had pressed the pause button. You just sync. Your conversations are aligned, and you just continue as though you never stopped. You might not see them every day. You might not talk to them every day. But your connection is so real. Your connection is so powerful. It's important for you to evaluate your friendships. Is there awkwardness? When you guys sit together, before even a conversation can be made, there's awkwardness. There's lack of conversation. You feel a bit tense. There are questions to be asked. Because there seems that probably there's a lack of transparency in such a relationship. Yes, I understand we have different personalities. We have those who are introverts, we have those who are extroverts. But even an introvert, within the space of a friend, can open up and can be able to speak up when they're in a space where they feel safe. And so you better ask yourself a question. How difficult is it for you to connect with the person you call a friend? Another thing you must evaluate in that relationship or that friendship is, do you or can you trust them completely? This actually should have been the first question, because trust is the foundation of any friendship. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. Without trust, there's nowhere you're going. Trust is absolutely important. And I always tell people, trust is like a bank account that you can only deposit in and never withdraw. Because once you start withdrawing from the account of trust, then the foundation becomes shaky. When you can no longer trust someone to keep your secrets, when you can no longer trust someone with your deepest fears and pains, when you can no longer trust someone with your problems, then I think that relationship has expired. That friendship is no longer serving its purpose. And so don't waste your time in a space where there's no trust. The question you need to ask yourself is it worth rebuilding this trust that has been lost? Is it worth investing more into this trust for the benefit of the friendship? If it is, by all means, go ahead. If it's not, it's time for you to walk away. The fourth and last question for today, when evaluating your friendships, is time together with your friends. Do they drain you or do they energize you? Once you spend time with them, a couple of hours, an evening, a night, a day, do you come back drained, fatigued, tired, or do you leave there energized? We've talked about people who can drain your energy. And energy is absolutely important. I look at energy as our phones. During the night we charge our phones and they go to 100%. And when you leave out the next day, you'll use your phone in a way that you make sure you don't waste energy. Especially maybe you're on a road trip, you don't have a charger. You'll find yourself turning off the music. You'll find yourself turning off your internet because you want to save as much energy as possible. And that's the same thing with human beings. Every day we go to bed, we wake up renewed at 100% charge. And during the day, we choose how we shall dispense our energy or with whom our energy will be used. And in life, there are three primary types of people. We have energy vampires. These are people who will drain your energy. People who you see and the first conversation you have with them is negativity. It just saps you dry of all the energy you have. Then we have neutral people. Those who don't sap your energy, they don't add to it, they're just neutral. And we have those who re-energize you. You know, a person who you have a sit down with for 1 hour and you feel good about yourself. You feel better about yourself. You feel as though you've been recharged and you've been energized. And so you must ask yourself that question. That circle of friends that you have, do they energize you or do they drain you? Do they lift you up or do they pull you down? Do they push you forward or do they drag you back? It's time we all analyze and evaluate our friendships, because friendships consume a lot of time in our lives. There's a man who said, for some, you spend time, but for others, you invest it. Once you evaluate your relationships, you will understand those who you must invest your time in and those who you must protect your time from. Because time is a resource that is finite. It doesn't last forever. And so you must utilize it in a proper way. And so friends, kindly use this coming week to look into your friendships. Look into your phone book. Look into your diary, Look into that list of friends you have. Ask those questions we've talked about. Ask them within yourself. Evaluate and see what percentile they get in each and every question. And once that is done, you will know, are they a friend I should keep or a friend I should walk away from? Don't be afraid to walk away, because the cost of regret is higher than the cost of walking away. And so guys, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, may God bless you, may He keep you, may He shine His face upon you and be gracious to you. And remember, if these videos inspire you, if they make you feel better, if you love what you see here, don't hesitate to share them with friends and family, and also like the videos on YouTube so that we can share them with many more people for a better life ahead. Until next time, take care and God bless.